fresh, freshy, flex, fresh, fresh, freshy, flex, fresh, fresh, Elmas, left, got with cafe breath.
I'm gonna need y'all to acknowledge that I'm here on time. That needs to be acknowledged immediately. I'm here on time. I'm here on time. Hello, everyone. Hi. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the Shine Everywhere Show. I love you guys. I love you all, ladies, gentlemen. I love you all. Hello, hello, hello. Yes. Back like we never left. Shout out to Kai. Back like we never left. Back like we went live yesterday. Shout out to Black Skies and to Persuasive and Thelma, Janae, Shantae in house. Hey, girl. Chantrice, Miss Phoebe. Is it Phoebe? Am I saying that right? Phoebe? I hope I'm saying it right. Shantae, bam. She said, I'm on time. Big dot. Big dots. Hi, Taniqua. Hi, boo. Hi, boo. Emery, your first live. Welcome. You shouldn't be so excited. You should be. You really should. You should be as happy as you are, girl. It's totally worth it, girl. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, baby Shay. We having a baby this week. Girl, I hope so. Girl, I hope so. Tell your daughter, I said, hurry up, oh my goodness. I love you. Phoebe said, yes, she said it right. Yay. I'm glad. I hate saying people's names wrong because I just don't, I just want to pronounce everyone's names correctly. But yeah, shout out to Chillaxin, La Crystal, Yvette. See, True Essence. Hello, everyone. Michelle. Everyone, hello. So, let me turn my camera on. Actually, we could just do a show with it off. I don't need it on. See, look. Where's your face? Why can't I do a live without showing my face? Why everybody else gets to? Like, I don't. Y'all do not let me. Y'all do not play that. Y'all don't. Let me turn this off. Y'all do not play that. I'm not allowed to do lives without. What is going on with my internet right now? Like, I'm the only person here. Like, what is happening? That is annoying. But hello, everyone. Welcome to my show. Hey, well, yep, they sure do. Look. Oh my goodness. Show your face. We need to see your face. I want to see your face. Mississippi love me, do that? Hey, Mississippi. Oh my goodness. Okay, I don't know why, but my internet is bothering me. Am I like froze or anything like that? Am I? Because I'm bothered. I'm bothered. I don't know what's going on because it shouldn't be doing anything because all of my kids are gone. So that's weird. Okay. I have to go look at something. But yeah, so am I freezing up or anything like that? Hi, sweet essence. Blurry, see, nope, hold on, no, no, we don't do blurry. We don't do none of that. We don't do none of that. Okay, so while I'm getting this together, because I'm not about to make y'all sit through this, let's get into these topics. It's a Sunday fun day. So, okay, yeah, saying blurry. Okay, stuff like that. We can't do blurry. Hold on, let me look. Because when I turn my camera on, if it's the camera, StreamYard. Am I blurry? Because I shouldn't be blurry right now. Okay, but it's going to get blurry. So that's going to annoy me. So, yeah. So, okay, let's just get into these topics real quick, and I will work on these.
Comes to dating. Not saying I'm not going to date black men. I definitely will. But to expand my options, yes, I will be dating outside of my race. Unapologetically. Thank you very much. Y'all gonna cancel me, but today marks the day that I will be dating outside of my race. And I know what you're about to say. Aren't you pro-black? I am. But as a dark-skinned black woman, the most hate I get is from my own men. And me restricting myself to only dating black men is giving me little to no options. Because there's only like a small group of black men who actually like women like me. And
Okay, can y'all see me? Can y'all see me now? I'm sorry. I had to change it, so I had to switch my internets because I can't. I'm like I can't do the blurry. I don't know what's going on, so I have to switch internets. So am I back? Can you guys see me? I'm sorry. I had to fix it. I had to switch. So I knew it was going to disconnect, but we're back. Okay, y'all saying back. Okay, yes, better. Okay, yes. Okay. Sorry for the technical difficulty, but now we're good. Now we're good. Now we are smooth sailing because I'm not about to do a glitchy live.
Y'all gonna cancel me, but
live.
y'all gonna cancel me, but today marks the day that I will be dating outside of my race. And I know what you're about to say. Aren't you pro-black? I am. But as a dark-skinned Black woman, the most hate I get is from my own men. And me restricting myself to only dating Black men is giving me little to no options. Because there's only like a small group of Black men who actually like women like me. And trust me, I've been trying to educate Black men about colorism, futurism, texturism my whole damn life. I do it on my platform every day. But a lot of them choose to stay dense and ignorant. And I'm sorry, but you're not about to ask me to wait for these men to stop being colorist. I cannot wait any longer for these men to stop the self-hatred. I want to go where I'm wanted. I'm tired of sitting in places where I'm...
Okay. So, shout out to her. She says that she's going to start dating outside of Blake's. And we don't care. Like, girl, we don't care. That's fine. I guess because she's a pro-Black content creator, I guess, is the reason she's saying something, because this isn't anything that we need to know. Okay, cool. You don't have to explain that to me. You can date whoever you want to date. And I'm gonna meet y'all. And I'm gonna be like, hey to you, and shake your hand and say hello to that person and shake their hand too. So I don't care who you date. If you feel like because there's too many men. That the annoying part about the whole throwing Black men in there is that all men of all races are trash. Okay, there's good men in each race, is how I feel. Just like there's some bad ones, there's good ones. Okay, so to literally look outside of Black men and be like, you know what? I'm not going to date you guys because you guys like ignorant and, there's a lot going on with you guys. So I'm not going to date you guys. I'm going to go date a white guy or Indian or Latino because I know for a fact I'm going to be treated better. No, you could get with them and they treat you the same way or worse. I will say this, that being with a Black man is easier because race doesn't necessarily really come up within their relationship. But when you are dating someone of the opposing race, or say out dating outside of your race, there's a lot of questions when people see you and things like that. And there are a lot of ignorant ones too, like a lot of very ignorant questions. Like, we aren't people that just love people. So if you meet your man in a bar, you met your man in a bar. But if you meet a person that is not the same race as you, and that's your man, and you met that person in the bar, the last thing they're really questioning you on is like where y'all met. It's like that doesn't matter. What matters is that this sticks out like a sore thumb that y'all not the same race. So how did that come about? People are more worried about that than just letting people be human. So yeah. I feel like you can date whoever you want, but to isolate a crowd of people like Black men and say that, there's only a certain Black man that likes me, and whatnot, and y'all few in short. So I'm gonna start dating outside of my race. Well, have you dated every Black man? Like, you haven't. And on top of you not dating every Black man, a lot of people don't think either the area that you live. So if you live in an area and you've had tough luck with love, if you will, maybe it's not you, maybe it's not the people, maybe it's the area, because you could go somewhere else and fall head over heels for someone. Your someone probably just isn't where you are, and that's a lot of times why people move, and things like that. So you can't just date the dudes in Georgia and say that Black men are trash, or just date the dudes in California and say that Black men are trash. Like, okay, sis. I mean, I guess if that's how you want to view things, but I don't view it that way. So it's like to categorize, because if a Black man comes forward right now and says, I'm going to start dating outside of my race. I'm going to stop dating black women because only a few of y'all like me. So I'm going to start, it's going, all he this, all he that, all he this, all he that. But then she could come forward and say, and it just not be a big deal, you know, double standard, you know, so it's just, you know, people just overlook it like, gone girl, like we don't care, you know, type of situation. But you are isolating people, you know, with saying what you're saying, because not all black men are trash. And you like what you like. So if you are attracted to a certain type of person, why wouldn't they be attracted to a certain type of person too? So you mean to tell me every dude that has ever dated you has only dated you because you're a melanated girl, like you're a darker girl? That's the only reason. Not because they just saw you and thought you were beautiful, not because they just saw you and felt like they couldn't walk away without speaking to you. Not any of those reasons. Just because you're a dark-skinned girl. Okay, so moving right along, because that's what I said. Congratulations, she's gorgeous. She is literally gorgeous, stunning girl. So yeah, date who you want. I mean, that no problem, but just don't isolate people in the process, because I don't feel like you will want to be isolated either. Somebody came forward, I don't want to date dark-skinned women because dark-skinned women ... No, ain't no ... Like you just come forward saying you don't date dark-skinned women. It's a problem. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's an issue right there within itself. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you have the right to feel how you feel, but when you say things like that out loud, realize that you're affecting everyone. You're categorizing everyone. You're placing all black men in the same category, and that is not fair, because we are all different people, and life is judged by experience. So just because you've had bad experiences with certain men does not mean that that's all men. It doesn't. And it doesn't mean that dating somebody outside of your race means that you're going to be treated better, that they're going to love you more, it doesn't mean any of those things. You know, love is love. You like who you like. You love who you love. And the majority of the time when we love people, we can't help it. It's like we're like a magnet. It's like it's like two magnets. You know, it's hard to, that force, you know, that you feel. You know, so yeah, I just feel like that's a little broad, you know, to be saying black men, like, no, there's plenty of trash other men and other races too, like literal trash, you know. So let's just make it seem like I'm gonna stop dating black guys, so I'm about to get treated so much better. Okay, girl. So Lil Fizz and Raz B and J Bug was over here on Drink Champs, y'all. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. And while they were over here, they said a lot of dumb things. So let's get into that. Let's get into the B2K uproar. I had that in the title yesterday, but we didn't get to it. So now we're going to get into what I mean by when I say B2K uproar. Shout out to the Neighborhood Talk. It says, the Little Fizz says B2K hasn't had Omarion's number in 20 years. B2K meaning all three members.
I'm hitting this nigga up, no response. Reading red in the DM, no response. Like, damn, bro, what's up? I'm going on the next season talking about the group, putting the shit back together. I had a conversation with April on that season.
Well, hold on, you said on the DM?
Yes.
Wait,
because I don't have the nigga number.
Nah, y'all front, man.
No cap.
You're taking it too far.
Bro, it's always been like this. Like,
nah, it's like
the dude comes
y'all
back.
Y'all got a group chat?
The dude comes
B2K
back.
B2K group chat?
So literally, I hadn't talked to him from that time till one day I was at April crib. Before the tour even came about conversation, and he was coming to drop off his kids, and he seen me sitting on the couch. And I was like, what's up? And he just turned and walked away. Tried to have a conversation with him then.
I'm good. Come on. If an average dude is going over to drop off his kids, and he see his group member chilling on the couch eating Cheerios.
Like, I'm hitting this nigga up, no response. Reading red in the DM, no response. Like, damn, bro, what's up? I'm going on the next season talking about the group, putting the shit back together. I had a conversation with April on that season.
Well, hold on, you said on the DM?
Yes.
Wait,
because I don't have the nigga number.
Nah, y'all front, man.
No cap.
You're taking it too far.
Bro, it's always been like this. Like,
nah, it's like
the dude comes
y'all
back.
Y'all got a group chat?
The dude comes
B2K
back.
B2K group chat?
So literally, I hadn't talked to him from that time till one day I was at April crib. Before the tour even came about conversation, and he was coming to drop off his kids, and he seen me sitting on the couch. And I was like, what's up? And he just turned and walked away. Tried to have a conversation with him then.
I'm good. Come on. if an average dude is going over to drop off his kids, and he see his group member chilling on the couch eating Cheerios.
Like, I'm hitting this nigga up. No.
All right, Yellow Fizz. All right. So Lil Fizz and the other men are at the table, you know. Raz is there, Boog is there. So if they disagreed, they would have interjected like, well, no, I had his number, I had his contact information, you know, blah, blah, blah. And so clearly they didn't have his, you know. So, you know, it is what it is. But with Lil Fizz saying that he tried to talk to Omarion when he was dropping his kids off to his kid's mother, April, and you were there and you wanted to have a conversation. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You better be lucky if I don't dive on you. Like, you better be lucky if I don't dive on you. Okay? Be lucky I let you breathe. I let you walk out of that room. That was very big of me. Very big of me. Because Fizz, that is mad disrespectful. That's why you had that smirk on your face, because you already know. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, well, no, I think that you would, because you really don't care for Moniece like that. So if Omarion was dating Moniece and you know, I think it would have been the same situation. I think Omarion would have left. I think you still would have tried to talk to Omarion, and he would have been namaste and just grabbed his leather jacket and his hat. Yes, and his Gerber treats, and he would have left. Okay, you tried it. So, you already know that was mad disrespectful. You already know. And I don't want to talk to you like, nigga, you over here, my baby mama, like for real, my kid's mom's son, all the people on the planet, my kid's mom. Gross. Like, okay. So clearly, Lil Fizz was, because this isn't the first time he's did this. You know, if you watch my Surviving, you've seen before, you know, Fizz has dated other girls of Omarion's that he's dated before. Okay. Jennifer Freeman and others. Okay. So Fizz is known for, you know, trying to get, I feel, Omarion's attention by dating the girls that he dates, honestly. Because gross. Because you don't compare, Fizz. You don't compare. We saw it. You don't compare. So, because we already know Omarion. We already saw his brother. So, we already saw Ryan. So, if that's what it's given, Omarion's good. Like, Omarion's good. You know, so, Fizzle Pop, gross. So, I feel like he's always dated the girls, get Omarion's attention, honestly. Because other than that, Omarion, you know, has really little to no involvement with Lil Fizz. So, you know, it is what it is. But he already knows that was mad disrespectful. But speaking of them, now I don't know if y'all haven't really been paying attention, but Omarion got kicked off this Millennium Tour. Okay. Now, you know how when Orlando Brown, which we're going to talk about him too, Orlando Brown said what he said about Bow Wow and his Uchi Wale Wale. And then Bow Wow said he was too busy because he was preparing for this new Millennium Tour, you know, this tour around the world, you know, and whatnot, this world tour or whatever. So he was too busy getting ready for that, you know, to be worried about some Orlando Brown, right? So Omarion was on that same tour. They always do it together, you know, it's Omarion and Bow Wow, right? Y'all, so if y'all been paying attention, let me pull it up. Hold on, y'all. Let me pull it up. Because y'all know I'm messy. So if y'all been paying attention, Omarion. Okay. So Mario, let me pull up Mario. Bam. Look, y'all. Look. Mario is now on the ticket. It was Omarion, y'all. He not on it no more. Now it's Mario. Mario done come stole this boy tour, y'all. Shout out to Mario. Mario. He done came and took the tour. He beat you in verses, and now he done took your tour on Omarion. Namaste. Oh my goodness. I was like, oh my God. I said, Omarion, why is you not promoting this no more, little boy? And I'm like, oh, it's because Mario. He done took it. Oh, let's go to Omarion. Ooh, let's go to Omarion. Look, he ain't promoting no more, y'all. Look. Oh my goodness. Omarion, he beat you. Now you over here talking about this book we don't care about. You ain't namaste. We saw you on that stage with that melon on melon. O'Melon, we saw you on that stage. You ain't namaste. You wanted to fight. So, you're not namaste. You're not namaste. You're not unbothered. You're very bothered. You're very bothered. You were so bothered. You did Omega. Did this record? Yeah, Omarion. Yeah, Omarion. Yeah, you're very bothered. Why you were promoting the tour no more? Remember how you was holding over Mario's head? Where you were open for me. Where you were open for me. Okay, Omarion. Well, we'll see you. We'll see. Because he ain't opening for nobody. He ain't opening for nobody. Huh? He ain't opening for nobody. Who he opening up for? You're not on the ticket at all. Trouble in Paradise between you and Bow Wow. Because why are you replaced, O'Malley? Because you were very so much on this ticket, Omarion. You're even promoting and you stopped promoting it and took it off your crap. His last promotion, look, I even pull it up. You know me, I come to go see. His last promotion of it was the tour that they did. What was it? 2021? Because you know, Omarion don't post like that on IG, right? So look, hold on, let me pull it up. Let me find it. Where's that? Boom, right there. Look at the Lord. Look, bam. Omarion, what happened? Omarion, what happened? This is old. This is old. Bam. But if you look on here, this is how you know Omarion was still promoting the tour, because it says new date Wednesday, August 10th, August 2022. So Omarion was still promoting it. Look, that he was supposed to be on this ticket. Look, it is August 14th, y'all. And it says new date Wednesday, August 10th, the 10th of August 2022. Right? Oh my goodness. And as you see, that is Bow Wow and very so much Omarion and Mario. Wasn't he one of the people on the ticket too? I believe Mario on this ticket as well. Hold on. Okay, it's just special spots, I believe, as a special guest. But yes, Omarion was very so much on this ticket, performing up until August 10th. Okay. And then that was number 4 days ago. And look at the Lord. Look. Bam. Unbothered. What happened? You and Bow Wow always do this together. What's T? It says the Millennium Tour. Omarion is not on this ticket, and this is very so much a recent ticket because Bow Wow has the same thing posted. What was this posted 1 day ago? Absolutely. Absolutely. We could go to Bow Wow page too, because Bow Wow's promoting the same thing, and neither one of them promoting Omarion. Neither one of them. He has the same ticket up because they did the same tour and they used Ashanti. So instead of Carrie Hilson, they had Ashanti. Bam! This is Bow Wow. Shot Moss. Where's Omarion? Where's Omarion? Where is O'Melon? What happened? Y'all always do this together. That says the Millennium Tour. Okay? Turn up. That's what it says. They did a tour in London. World Tour is what Bow Wow said he was preparing for with this Millennium Tour. So if they already did dates over there and they're now doing dates now here in America because the dates are up, which they are up. These are all American dates. That's what a world tour is, going to multiple places. Omarion should still be on the ticket. The Millennium Tour came from America. This is where it's going to generate the most money. Why would he not be on this ticket? He should be on this ticket. Yes, Day 26 are uniting on this tour. So this is going to be a big tour because a lot of people love Day 26. I know I'm one of those people. I love Day 26. But they did the same tour and they brought Ashanti, I believe, last year or the year before. They brought Ashanti, Omarion, and Bow Wow. Omarion and Bow Wow, not Omarion and Mario. No. So Omarion should very so much be on this ticket. This is an American tour. Why would he not? Is this where it's going to make the most money? This is where it was born. It was birthed here. Yes. They should bring Ashanti back. I like Carrie. I think that's gonna be cute. But yeah. So I find that mighty weird. As I said, B2K has to be in an uproar because I just feel like this is Omarion's karma because he wasn't gonna bring B2K on this tour anyway. I mean, he absolutely was not. So he is no longer enough, clearly, because why isn't he on the ticket? I'm like, why is it Mario now? And it was just something that was unexpected. It wasn't like, oh, we're going to the next part of the tour is going to be with Mario and stuff. No, none of that was announced or anything like that. Just like I was just assuming that Omarion would be on the ticket because it's the Millennium Tour. Like he's a part of it. Like what? Mario and Bow Wow did not birth the Millennium Tour. Omarion and B2K, well, B2K and Bow Wow did. B2K, Bow Wow, Pretty Ricky, all of them. They were all the first ones on. And then it was, well, back in the day, they had the Scream Tour. And then it went from which was still Omarion and Bow Wow. I mean, B2K, Bow Wow. It was the Scream Tour, if you remember back then. It was called the Scream Tour. And it went from that into the Millennium. Like it switched when B2K came out with that album, the Millennium album, that which was their best album. So yeah, so that was birth with these men, not Mario. Mario was not a part. Don't get me wrong, Mario, he did come and perform at shows and stuff like that and whatnot, but he was not like a headrunner of the Millennium Tour or the Scream Tour. He was not. It was either B2K and Bow Wow and B2K. Like they was always the front runners of the Scream Tour. So yeah, and then it just turned into something else. So but yeah, I'm like B2K means Boys of the New Millennium. They had an album called The Millennium or Pandemonium. My fault. I said the Millennium. Pandemonium. The Backstreet Boys had a Millennium album. B2K had Pandemonium. My fault. Pandemonium. So, but their name was Boys. That's what B2K meant. Boys of the New Millennium. Boys of the New Millennium is what their name was. So, but yeah, karma is all this is. Just a big slap in the face. Omarion, you talked all of that trash about Mario, but people want him. And I think the Versus tour is probably why Mario was one of the first people they thought of. Is because honestly, the Versus he performed live. Mario sounded amazing performing. The crowd was really feeling him. Yeah, that's what you want in a performer. Imagine if that was a literal competition. If that was a literal competition, Mario would have won, right? So yeah, everybody's gonna talk about it, So and everybody talked about how Mario did. His vocals were great. So Omarion, not so much. So why wouldn't Mario be like one of the yeah, let's get him. Yeah, of course. So yeah, shout out to Bow Wow for bringing Mario on this tour. So I don't know if y'all caught that tea, but I definitely did. I was just like, okay, well, wasn't Mario just promoting this? Because he was, and not just when they were overseas. He's promoting the American tour. Because you can't be two places at once, So, and then it just was just gone. Like it just wasn't on his IG anymore. And then boom, here's Mario. Was talking about he basically, I'm not going to say he stole Omarion's spot, but it was definitely given to him. So I don't know if Omarion and them just had creative differences or the contract wasn't contracting. I don't know what that, it could have been any of those, or it could have just been Bow Wow felt like, I want to do the next part with Mario. I feel like doing it here. He's more wanted here. Either way, Omarion, you ain't turning down no check. So, yeah, you can't be, something happened. Like for sure. What happened? I'm not going to make it seem like I know what happened. Because I don't. But I can find out. I'm definitely going to find out. But yeah, Omarion definitely got the boot from what it seems. He either quit or got the boot. So y'all saying bye O'Melon, bye Omari. Lola said Mario deserve it. I agree. I think Mario deserves, because he was talking so much head about how where you will open for me, and all of this stuff about Mario. Now Mario like, open for who? Open where? So if you come to the show, you're gonna be in the audience, or you're gonna come as a special guest, like how Mario did. Mario would come as one of the people that opened for other people that were about to come out on stage. So Omarion will be the same way as a guest. You're going to perform before the headliners. You're going to perform before them. So Omarion's not going to perform after a headliner. Like, yeah, you're not, because you're not headlining. So they save the best for last. So literally, the opening acts is literally to kill that, because the concerts be an hour, 2 hours, long. So they have to kill a lot of time. Because they don't, sometimes performers come out and perform like 2-3 songs. You go to a concert and you will wait 2 hours, an hour and a half, and they'll come out perform 2-3 songs and be like, thank you. And you like, like, I'm just getting into it. And you talk about some thank you. Nuh-uh. And we done been here all night. And some of the openers be trash. But some of them be real good. But yeah, literally, you go to some of these concerts and the people come out real quick. You just spend all of that time there, whether it's a bar or even sometimes an arena. You'll spend a lot of time watching the opening acts. They take up a bulk, of the time. Like think back in the day, like when TLC and people like that was opening acts, they would perform like 2-3 songs, and then the next act come out perform, 2 songs, 1-2 songs, and then they keep going and going and going and going and going until they get to the main event. The main event is last, and they probably be on stage 15-20 minutes. 15-20 minutes. That's why people love people like Beyonce and Michael Jackson and Whitney, because they performed a lot of songs. They perform a lot of songs. They don't just compact the show with a bunch of opening acts and then they come out for a little bit and then leave. No, they work hard. They give you an hour and a 20-minute performance from them. Like they're not gonna do you dirty. They're not gonna do you dirty. They're gonna give you real performances, like, and a decent amount of songs. Janet Jackson, she's the one that's gonna give you a decent amount of songs, especially in her prime. Give you a decent amount of music. So yeah. So shout out to opening acts because they do work hard. But yeah, Omarion tried it. So now if he comes, he's basically an opening act. And I'm sure he probably will take one of those show spots, because why not? I mean, that's what I said. He ain't turning down no checks. He absolutely is not. So yeah, move right along. See here today now, this Suka Roach is over here frying chicken in this damn commode.
I'm not frying chicken. I'm peeing. And I don't know why my motherfucking coochie muscles is like that. But it's really making me fucking sick because I have to turn on music every time I want to use the bathroom. I'm tired of being a squirter because every time I pee, it sounds like I'm frying chicken. I'm not frying chicken.
Girl.
I'm peeing. And I don't know why my motherfucking coochie muscles is like that.
You a
but
hoe.
it's really making me fucking sick.
You
because
know
I
why.
have to turn on music every time I want to use the bathroom. I'm tired of being a squirter because every time I pee, it sounds like I'm frying chicken. I'm not frying chicken. I'm peeing. And
It sounds like you pouring out grease real fast. That's a girl. Girl, it's like acid is at the bottom of that damn commode. Suka Hyundai. I know Robert Kelly somewhere like. I know R. Kelly. I want to pee on you. Yes, I do. I'll pee on you. I'll pee on you. So, Yates. I know Robert. Oh my goodness. This is gross. This is gross, girl. You need to get that checked out. Suka Hyundai, you need to get that checked out first of all. Why is it so much? And those aren't those. Is you letting somebody go in your pee hole? Who you letting your pee hole? That's not where it go. Wrong hole. So even that hole open? Girl, who you letting your pee hole? Because I'm like, oh my god, why does it sound like laundry changing from when it stops, when you first start a machine, then it soaks the stuff real good, and then it stop right before spin cycle, and then it start, then so it's like right as the water stopping, that sound. That's a lot. That is a lot. I said Suka Hyundai clogging up toilets all around America. And whatever it is, it's white. That sound. Whatever coming out of you is white. And you talk about something, that's why you like being a girl that be able to squirt. You mean a girl that can piss across the room? Now you done set that maid of the sport trying to pee in a bowl across the room, you damn cat. Trying to pee in a bowl across the room and all of that on OnlyFans. Oh my goodness. And that's a deep fry. And that's not frying like wings. This is breast. This is frying breasts and thighs.
And I don't know why my motherfucking coochie muscles is like that, but it's really making me fucking sick because I have to turn on music every time I want to use the bathroom. I'm tired of being a squirter because every time I pee, it sounds like I'm frying chicken. I'm not frying chicken. I'm peeing.
That's what it sounds like when you drop a leg or, a thigh or a breast in the pan. Whew. That is gross. That really is gross, Suki. That is really gross. It's the fact that you went in the bathroom at all. Like, you knew social media people are something else. Y'all are something else. Y'all really are. This is gross. Like, a dude going to the bathroom online is gross. A girl going online is gross to me as well. Like, it's giving fetish. Because some men like that thought. It's just so weird to me. Like the peeping toms and stuff like that. Like, they like to listen. It's just like, ew. So it's like you're feeding those pervs, like you're feeding them. It's just like, ew. But Suka Hyundai, you should get that looked at. Maybe you should get a plug or a stopper or something put in you. I don't know, but that is a lot. That is a lot. Girl, how you splashing that water? That's not normal. That's not you splashing that water differently. You splashing that water differently. If it smell like pouring a bucket, sound like pouring a bucket of water or some frying oil and some water, like that's bad. You should go get that looked at. You absolutely should. Wow. Very impressive. Very impressive. Absolutely. So shout out to Suki for being nasty. Shout out to Suka Roach for the TMI. Look at the baby up here on this cross. I ain't gonna play it. Look at the baby up here on this cross. Look at the baby. Look at the baby up here on this cross. Stones being thrown at him and everything. I said, Wow. But you want to know my only question? I only have one question. One question. Where he at? Hello? Pastor Blasphemous. You didn't see that? I want to know where he at. You have nothing to say? You don't have anything to say about that? Did anybody show you this, or they just showed you church girl? Like I said, there's a lot going on in this world with people being extremely blasphemous. Okay? Beyonce ain't on no cross. She ain't on no cross. Get away from him. She ain't on no cross, Lord. No, she is not. Why does it keep going back to him, Lord? Right here. She ain't on no cross. I know that much. I know Beyonce ain't on no cross. Beyonce ain't on no cross. So this is fine. But drop it like a thotty. Drop it like a thotty. That's end days. That's end times. But what? So what's this? We can't be hypocritical. Like that's what I'm saying. Call it all out. Don't just call out some stuff. If you have a problem with what Beyonce did with the track, cool. Like I said, I'm not taking that from you. Your opinion is your opinion. But like I said, it seems personal. It seems like you personally just don't like her. So you want to use her as an example when there are plenty of examples out here. Plenty of examples. Some like this. Big examples, like right in your face examples. I find that weird. But he can be up on a cross. But Beyonce's talking about some church girl, get loose. Girl, don't hurt nobody. You could be my daddy if you want to. Oh my goodness. Oh my word. But he could be up here on the cross. He can be that thing behind you on a crucifix. He could be all that. He could be the Lord. That's fine. Long as he don't say nothing about the church. The church that you over there allegedly stealing from. Now, don't let me put your tea out there. But yeah. I just find it mighty weird. That's why I said don't be hypocritical. With you church people. This why people, okay? Because y'all be worried about the wrong stuff. Because this definitely is calling for your attention. Reverend. Reverend. Yeah, this is definitely calling for your attention. Yeah. Now, let's not isolate. Let's not isolate and tell your congregation that I'm not scared of them. I'm not scared of your congregation. I absolutely am not. They can meet me in the same parking lot you can meet me in. But I want to know your thoughts on this, Pastor. Just find that a little weird. Okay. Shout out to 900 people in the building. Now let's move right along. I just like to call these, they be coming for my girl. They be coming for my girl. So Arif Jigsaw Fletcher, $1 million baby mama Fletcher said, I don't think it's funny when people scare kids. This whole little ghost filter and leaving y'all kids in the room is pissing me off so big. I don't know. I just don't think it's funny at all. Maybe I'm soft, but I ain't playing with mine like that. That's what she said. That's what she said. Ari, anywhere you turn the lights off in the room with Yoshin, you're going to scare the dog shit out that baby. So, Ari, you can't act like you don't glow in the dark. Like you absolutely do. So I'm just like, did a monster? Did a pretty monster just say, did a thick monster, Lord, just, girl, you turn the lights off anywhere you and Yoshi now, real monsters. So, yeah, Ari, girl, I'm like, okay, like, girl, you are the ghost. Right, monsters high. Ooh, not monsters high. It's like, girl, no, she tried it. I'm like, Ari. Turn the lights off in there with that baby right now. With the mask on, the night mask. You're gonna scare the hell out that boy. I'm like, no, because she tried it. She tried it because she talking about this challenge like she don't look like it. Girl, already twins. I'm like, yeah, girl, you tried it. You can't look monsterific. Don't look under the bed, but thick. Butterface, but thick. Like, girl, like, maybe you soft. Ain't you the same one that was cussing somebody out in the chat when your son was over there, you know, messing with his dad, G Herbo? And you was talking about some y'all raising on punks, you know, basically something like that. Like, get your soft ass off here, you know, all of that. But you was softy because you don't. He ain't gonna be scared. You already know Yoshin ain't gonna be scared. He bad. Girl, he gonna be scared. He gonna sit there and look at the screen like, Ma, what's this? Ma, your phone broke. Like, he ain't about to cry, scream none of that. You're his mom. Like, he's seen worse. You and your friends coming over there, them built up hoes. A girl them blow up dolls with lace fronts. Like, girl, he's seen worse. He was at that twerking party with you, remember? He was in that club or wherever you was at. And he's seen worse. Girl, he ain't gonna be scared. That's why you don't want to do it, because like you said, you know, your son hoard. Your son hoard. Okay, girl. So I'm like, girl. Nicki Minaj said that she think it's cruel, and then all of a sudden everybody, then she want to come for it. I don't think that's funny at all. Yeah, because the queen said it first. Shut up. You could have been said that. Shut up, girl. So yeah, no, because she get on my nerves. I'm like, girl, you sitting over here looking like a whole monster after dark, talking about something what's scary and what's not. Girl. So shout out to Hip Hop Inquirer. You should do stand-up comedy, bro. Y'all think so? They've been saying, now we might at the meet and greet now. We might have some set up. Thank you so much for the super sticker. We might have some set up for y'all. Y'all make sure y'all come through. Thank y'all so much for the super sticker. So let's get into Tristan, cheat on your Thompson. Tristan, cheat on your Thompson. And Khloe, low self-esteem, changing faces, Kardashian. It says, y'all surprised? Khloe Kardashian will reportedly have full custody of surrogate baby, which Tristan be cheating. Ooh, that was like a shady girl. Tristan be cheating Thompson. Go on there, but talk. So right here it says, the quote, it says, Khloe and Tristan have agreed that Khloe will have sole legal and physical custody of their baby full time. Yeah, this sounds definitely like a purchase. However, Tristan is so excited to have welcomed a son that he don't even want any custody. He's so excited that he gave Khloe all the custody. He's so excited that he's not even physically responsible for the kid, you know? So she has sole rights to this kid. Like, how pathetic. Like, that's pathetic, if you ask me. So he basically gave her all rights over the kid that he cheated with. Because it is a purchase. This is a bought baby. This baby came with a receipt. She bought this baby from the last girl he got pregnant. Because she can't get pregnant. And she can't get pregnant. She don't work. They done took too much of her intestines and ribs, you know, and all of that out of her. So she don't work. She don't work no more. So since she don't work no more, she bought Tristan's last mistress's baby. Okay? So instead of her coming forward, talking about this and that, let's just buy this baby from her. It's going to be cute. She's beautiful. You cute. Okay? I'm going to just buy the baby. Because she been wanting to have a baby with Tristan anyway. She been wanting to give the baby, what's the baby name? And she been wanting to give her a sibling. So she been wanting to have another child. So this is perfect. You know, Tristan done knocked up this chick. She really don't want the baby. She ain't been here long. She just started stripping. You know, all of this stuff. She looked up one night. She was stripping. Tristan was making it rain. And after Tristan was making it rain, he ended up, you know, running up inside her. And, you know, Tristan does not believe in contraception. Gross. He's allergic. So he went up in her role like he do, and then she got pregnant. So then Khloe found out about this baby. So she got the jump on it and decided to buy the baby. we'll give her money for this baby, and she ain't gonna say nothing about this child and how it was conceived, anything like that. Okay. And it's gonna be my child's sibling, because it is. I mean, they are related, so. And then I ain't got to worry about the tabloids and all of this talking about some Tristan cheat on him. Thompson got another girl pregnant after he just recently, because that's what I'm saying. This other girl that I forgot her name, but the one who had the baby by Tristan, and he was trying to make it seem like it wasn't his kid. He wasn't trying to do the DNA, none of that stuff, and it came out that the baby was his. At that same time, so he had there was two people pregnant, because the same time she was pregnant, this girl that Tristan went got pregnant was the same time the surrogate was pregnant too. So clearly he got two girls pregnant at the same time. That's all that is. When you running around just putting it in this, he got to, because it's already, because the girl had been saying that Tristan was the father of her baby before the baby was even born, right? The other girl, not the surrogate. The other girl was already going around saying that Tristan was the father. Tristan was fighting, blah, blah, blah. It came to the conclusion that it was his child, that is Tristan's baby, right? And Tristan still said he don't want nothing to do with the kid, right? So at this same time, while she was pregnant, the surrogate was pregnant too. So if Tristan knows that they have a surrogate that is pregnant, why would he be out here raw dogging other girls getting them pregnant? Like, that don't make sense. What does make sense is that he sleeps with multiple women, and he got multiple women pregnant around the same time period. They call them in the hood ghetto twins. And so he was having sex with multiple people that got pregnant. Okay. So the other old girl wanted her baby. She came out with it, blah, blah, blah. I feel like this other girl does not want necessarily the baby. She doesn't mind giving the baby to Tristan, but Tristan don't want the baby, but Khloe does want another baby. So it just made sense. Because why wouldn't Tristan? Because he got custody, or he got rights and custody and stuff to True. So why wouldn't he want rights and custody to this baby too? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Because her and Tristan aren't together. She been dating Kim, hooked her up with one of her realtor friends and all of that stuff. They're not dating. They're not in a relationship. They just act like they are. But it's the storyline. They're not in a relationship. Khloe been seeing other people and everything. And Tristan been seeing other people. That's why he been spotted at the airport and stuff like that with other females and all that. They don't go together. It's all an image. I promise. Right. Ghetto twins. It's all an image. They're not together. So why does Khloe feel the need to make sure that Tristan has no rights to the kid if his sperm was not used? Clearly, he is the father of this child. This just isn't a surrogate situation. Because that doesn't make sense for Khloe to get a surrogate at the same time another woman is running around talking about some she pregnant by Tristan. Well, let's just have our own baby by a surrogate since this girl is going around saying she's pregnant by it. That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense, but it does make sense that two girls were pregnant at once and they got to the other one, the one that, she don't necessarily want the baby. So she gives up her parental rights and everything to the child and gives the child to Khloe. And Tristan does the same thing because he is legally the father. Like, biologically, he is the father, not legally. So, because if you decide a surrogacy with someone, you could easily pull the plug, at any moment in time. So that means if they go together because they're not married, or anything like that. So as a couple, if they sit down and decide like, hey, we're going to have this baby. If Tristan wants to pull the plug, he can pull the plug. If Tristan wants to walk away and say, I don't want anything to do with this surrogacy, he technically can. Within any moment in time, he could change his mind, even while the surrogate is pregnant. They still have the right to change their mind, about certain things, especially having any liability towards the child. So that's why he's signing over his rights. I want no legal liability, physical, nothing to the child. That makes complete sense because he don't want the child. Khloe does. So what better way? That's how I look at it. And all of this is alleged, but that's just what I figured, that both of them, it was two girls pregnant at the same time. It's that simple. Khloe got to the girl, her team and whatnot got to the girl, and she decided like, hey, I'll give her the baby. Now, all of a sudden, this rumor of surrogacy talk, they putting little breadcrumbs out there about we're going to get a surrogate, we're going to get a surrogate. When, no, that's not a surrogate. That's somebody Tristan knocked up. That's all that is. And you see how quick Tristan said with the what is she, a model or a trainer or something like that? The girl he got pregnant or had a baby by. But yeah, you see, he said he wants nothing to do with that baby. So, and that makes sense. And I feel the same way with this child. He'll talk about the child and claim the child because it's from Khloe, just like True. But he's legally buying to True, physically, biologically buying to True. Why wouldn't you want to be the same way with this kid? You know, that doesn't make any sense. So for him to relinquish his rights and whatnot, it's fishy. Like, it doesn't look right. It's like, why would you need to do that? Like, honestly, like, I just don't get, I don't get it. But yeah, so yeah. However, Tristan is so excited to welcome their second son. He really wanted another boy. Even though Khloe will have full custody of the baby, she's more happy for Tristan to be present in their child's life as much as he wants. Meaning there's no responsibility on him. As much as he wants to be here, hey, you sure can. But other than that, I'm going to raise the baby. That's what I'm getting from it. He got 2 girls pregnant at once. So yeah. So moving right along, because you know the Kardashians will do any, because you know that's her worst fear, him having more churn, But that's exactly what happened. So moving right along. So Orlando Brown calls Soulja Boy Whitney Houston while addressing their feud. He says, "I don't have a problem with Whitney." Hopefully y'all can make sense of this, because I definitely could not.
No problem with him. You know what I'm saying?
Just gotta... With Soulja Boy or with Whitney Houston?
Soulja Boy.
No, I'm not a problem with Whitney Houston.
Okay. What made you make the diss song?
About Whitney Houston or Soulja Boy?
Soulja Boy.
I didn't make no diss song with Whitney Houston.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I seen it on the internet, but okay. Maybe it was labeled wrong, or...
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe Whitney shouldn't have been in Soulja Boy's body, because I'm trying to figure out what you talking about.
Did you see the news recently about Soulja Boy being pepper sprayed by Charleston White?
Yo, man, I don't know, man.
You made a diss against him a while back.
I mean, Soulja Boy is Whitney Houston. I ain't got a problem with that name, bro.
No problem with him. You know what I'm saying? Just gotta...
With Soulja Boy or with Whitney Houston?
Soulja Boy.
No, I'm not a problem with Whitney Houston.
Okay. What made you make the diss song?
About Whitney Houston or Soulja Boy?
Soulja Boy.
I didn't make no diss song with Whitney Houston.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I seen it on the internet, but okay. Maybe it was labeled wrong, or...
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe Whitney shouldn't have been in Soulja Boy's body, because I'm trying to figure out what you talking about.
Did you see the news recently about Soulja Boy being pepper sprayed by Charleston White?
Yo, man, I don't know, man.
You made a diss against him a while back.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with the bulk of y'all in the chat. I just feel like people need to stop interviewing Orlando. Like, I mean, you could clearly see certain signs of things. I'm not going to diagnose him. I'm not going to say what. I'm not going to put him on anything or anything like that. I'm not in his life. I don't know what's going on, but there are clear indications that there are things that shouldn't be going on. He couldn't convince me right now by the way he talks, his stature, how he moves around, the constant sweating. You know, there are signs of things like that. There definitely is. But I think it's extremely, extremely, like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know what to say to the people that keep bringing, like, what are you getting out of this? I mean, I get it's a click in the view. I understand. I get that. But to keep shoving a camera in front of this man's face, seeing that he is not well, seeing that he is clearly going through things, what do you get out of that? Like, I feel like we should be offering him help instead of just trying to feed off of this, you know, and just like, oh, look at everything he's going through. Oh, he's always saying. A lot of people love Orlando. That's why it's unfortunate, because he said a lot of things that people believe. And it's hard when you see certain energy like this, because it makes you discredit certain things, and you don't want to do that. You know, you want to give him his truth. He's came forward and said certain things about people in the industry and all type of things, and you want to give him that credit. So it's hard to give him that credit when you see him doing things like this, because you feel in your mind that, you know, this is just a time that he's going through right now. It doesn't mean that the things that he said in the past is not true. You know, he's just going through something right now. But then other people look at it as it just explains the whole picture. Like, to them, he's crazy. To them, he's not in his right mind, you know, and whatnot. So like I said, with the people that do love Orlando, he makes it hard. You know, he makes it hard for them to love him when he's doing things like this, because then when naysayers say certain things, it's hard to argue with them. It's hard to disagree with them and to give you the credit that you're due because of things like this. You know what I mean? It's really hard. And it keeps happening. And it's happening because people keep putting cameras in front of his face. So why do people keep doing, like, that's my question to the people that feel the need to put him on camera. Like, if I was ever in contact with Orlando, especially him being in a condition like this, I'm not bringing him on camera for clout. Like, I'm just not doing that, because I would feel horrible if anything happened to him. I enabled it, instead of offering him assistance and stopping him and being like, look, bro, I think you should get some help. I think you need to talk to somebody. Like, for real, like, let me get you some numbers or something. Like, I understand you may not want to talk about it right now, but just put this in, you know, in the back of your mind, you know, just put this in your pocket, you know, just let it sit in your email, you know, or something like that. And, you know, if you feel the need and you want to reach out, you got somewhere to start, you know, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to get, oh, well, let's come on here for clout. So I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that, because that says more about me than it does Orlando. So that's why I say with these situations, seeing Orlando in the condition that he's in and reacting how he's reacting, answering questions, how he's answering questions, for you to keep going, for you to, you know, edit this and place this in a way for you to have clout, means that you do not care about what's going on in this man's life. You don't care. You couldn't care, because if you did, you wouldn't do this. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. It's because he's going through something. So when he comes out of what he's going through, these are all of the things that he's going to come back to. You know, if he was to leave this, you know, world and go to somewhere and try to, with some type of sobriety or whatever he needs to do, he's going to come back to a world of all of these alleged things that he said that he has to keep coming back apologizing for. When if people just wouldn't put that camera in front of him when he's going through what he's going through, then he wouldn't have to worry about those type of things and be discredited. Because then when he does, whether he did want to clean himself up or whatever, you know, he has going on in his life, when he comes back, everybody, these are the questions they're going to have. Well, why did you say this? Why did you say that? Why did you call Soulja Boy Whitney Houston? Why did you say Bow Wow this? Why does that? These are going to be these people's questions for him. So he'll lose his credibility. So I think that's another reason why Orlando keeps falling into a sunken place. You know, whatever place he's in can't be necessarily a good one. But I can see why he keeps falling in. He has a bunch of naysayers, you know, around him. Nobody wants to like truly help him. You know, it's more so of what I can get from you versus to what I can do for you. And I feel like that's unfortunate. It really is. So I feel like he follows suit. He goes places, he says shocking things because he knows it's going to get a certain amount of attention. And, you know, maybe these blogs are paying him. I'm assuming the people that he's talking to. I don't think he does too much for free. So, yeah, but I just don't feel like it's worth it. I don't feel like it's worth it. I feel like just let the dude do what he needs to do. But he should be doing set things off of camera. He can go on camera himself. He can go live on Instagram. He can go live on YouTube. He can go live on so many different platforms if he wants to get his story out there. I don't feel like he needs y'all assistance, but it's like y'all keep, you know, putting a magnifying glass over certain behavior just because it feeds y'all when this is somebody hurting. You know, if you ask me, he's going through a lot. And I don't think he knows how to necessarily navigate. He doesn't necessarily know how to deal with it. This is a child star, somebody that has been being used his entire life. He started at what, 5, 6 years old? Something like that. Like, that's a long time. So he's been through a lot. Like, he absolutely has. And there's a lot of people that been around him that have used him and done all type of stuff to him. So I don't know. I just don't feel like we should profit off of people's pain, not especially in this type of way. But moving right along, let's get into what I really wanted to talk about.
Hi, Sparkle.
Shut up, Sparkle. So I want to talk about the. Let's get right here first. So Madame Nayor, shout out to Madame Nayor. I love Madame Nayor. Y'all keep Orlando Brown in y'all prayers, like for real. Keep him in y'all prayers because I just feel like homeboy's going through. So Sparkle's niece now working with authorities in R. Kelly case. So yesterday I was wondering if Rashonda, is it Rashonda? I believe it's Rashonda. If she was going to, because they said that she's supposed to be testifying soon. She's the girl from the original tape and whatnot, and she's supposed to be testifying against R. Kelly. I found it interesting because she's never spoke about it. So from 2008 till now, we have no idea how she's felt. Nothing. We don't know nothing. I mean, imagine somebody talking about you from such a young age about something so infamous. Like, I mean, people have been talking about that girl for years. Like, skits have been made on her, like on the Chappelle show, a really big show, and stuff like that. I mean, so this is pretty big, if you ask me. That's I'm like, this is like, she's never said a word. Like, she's never spoke of what happened to her and what just happened in general. Remember, she didn't testify in 2008. She was gone. So let's get into this article with Madame Nayor. We already read that. Sparkles and niece now working with the authorities in R. Kelly case. So this needs to go. Young girl who was recorded in the infamous and widespread tape of Robert Kelly engaging in acts is going back on years of precedents and cooperating with investors in the child case, CP case against the R&B singer. You may recall in 2008 trial against R. Kelly, the girl in the tape, along with the family members, refused to testify against the singer. I'm going to read that again. The girl in the tape, along with the family members, meaning her mother and father, okay, sister and brother, refused to testify against the singer. The decision, many believed, ultimately resulted in the jury acquitting the singer, meaning her testimony is the reason R. Kelly got off. If she would have testified, there would have been no way in the world he would have gotten off, but she did not, okay? But things have changed since 2008. Our society's awareness and understanding of SA has increased while Kelly's funds have dwindled. According to the New York Post, or the New York Times, an extent of the girl's cooperation with authorities isn't clear. So we don't know how much she's cooperating, but there is a cooperation. Her lawyer, Christopher L. Brown, spoke of her willingness to work with the authorities days after Kelly was accused. So this is different. In a federal indictment of paying the girl and her father to lie to investigators to protect him. Okay. So in a federal indictment of paying the girl and her father to lie to investigators to protect him. Okay. So they're stating that Robert paid them. Robert paid her and her father to lie for him in 2008. Okay, because remember, Rashonda and her family were on vacation during the trial. I'm gonna say tour, the trial. They weren't even in America, so there was no way that they could be reached, brought there, nothing. Okay, so they weren't even here. They weren't even in the country. So, in the indictment, Kelly gave the girl and her family gifts, money, before and after the trial in exchange for her lying to investigators, being unavailable for interviews, and refusing to testify against him. In addition to the CP, Kelly is facing state and federal charges of obstruction of justice, SA, and racketeering. He is accused of perpetrating the acts against 12 women, at least 8 of which were underage at the time he was involved with them. Earlier this week, Kelly wore ankle shackles along with his orange jumpsuit, pled not guilty to the charges. though his attorney argued that he was not a flight risk and had appeared at all of his court appointments on time. A judge denied bond, calling the case extraordinarily serious. If convicted, Kelly will face the maximum of 195 years in prison. Prosecutors believe that there were more girls beyond the initial cited 12 who were victim to Kelly's. The decades-long history of abuse was documented through witnesses and survivors' testimonies in the Dream Hampton-produced documentary, Surviving R. Kelly. So, Rashonda will speak. She absolutely will. And from what's gathered, I don't know how far she's willing to corroborate, but it does sound like that her and her father will corroborate in stating that they were paid and gifts were exchanged to them before and after her trial. So it does sound like she is willing to say at least that. Now, beyond that, I don't know. But Madame Nayor is a very creditable source. So that's why. So shout out to Madame Nayor. So that will be admitted to, yes, he did. But she's still stating that, she's testifying, not him. So God rest his soul. But yeah, she's testifying, not him. So, but that's in the testimony is what I'm saying, that her and her father were paid before and after the trial. Is what, so she's going to admit that. And she was a minor at the time. So whoever the money was exchanged with is who he gave the money to, which was not her mother, it was her father. So that's why he's going to be brought up in court, because that's what she's stating, that we were both paid for it. Lying is what she's saying. But yeah, so he gave her money on the table. Yeah, that one number like $40 though. I was like, $40. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, $40. That was like $40. I was like, what? Like, what? Like $40. But yeah, he did exchange money with her on the tape, but that's not what they talking about. They talking about lavish gifts were exchanged. Vacations. I mean, can you imagine a vacation around Europe pretty much? And whatnot. So yeah, and among other things. So she is willing to testify about that, which is crazy. I'm just like, wow, this is deep. Now, yesterday, because I saw y'all underneath my comments, and I really hope y'all is here. Because I saw y'all underneath my comments yesterday talking about, Sparkle called child protection, and Sparkle did this, and Sparkle did that. Like I said, Sparkle was jealous of her niece. I stand on what I said. She was jealous, okay? And like I said before, it seemed as if she did not care much, all right? And what I meant by that is she didn't care, because certain things she did, she could have been did. Like, why wait until you and R. Kelly have no more affiliation to where you relinquish yourself from him after not admitting the fact that you were sleeping with him and all of that, which you were, girl. And then you decide to call child protection and stuff like that afterwards. It seems spiteful to me. Like, because you could have been did that. They're calling you, telling you what you knew in the first place. Let's get into, you know what? I'm going to put this fair use up. Madam Nayor, please don't strike me. Because Sparkle said all of this out of her own mouth. I'm going to put the fair use up. Let's listen to her Madam Nayor interview.
Hi, Sparkle.
This is Sparkle.
And you're watching In This Room on Madame Noir.
Oh, my fault. It's a question. It says, what do you think? What? Why? Let me put it up so y'all so y'all know I ain't making nothing up. Hold on. Right here. Why do you think your family decided not to testify after R. Kelly tapes with your niece were released? And now Sparkle's about to answer it. Fair use. This is just for educational purposes.
You know, I don't know, and it boggles me to today. And I be thinking like, okay, does he have something on them? Is he threatening them? Did they sign some type of non-disclosure agreement where they can't talk? Like, what is it? I really want to know, because there would be no way for me not to protect my daughter. You know what I mean? Like, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? So I don't know. I don't know.
Next question. Now that the documentary is out, do you think any of the charges against R. Kelly will stick? Oh, wait, no, you know what? No, let me do, no, because this ain't the whole interview. This only, no. Let me pull this one up, because this one is the whole interview. I think it is. Yes.
Hi, Sparkle.
Yes.
And you're
Okay, yeah, this is the whole interview. Okay. Now we gonna stop in between where we need to. I'm gonna pull this down so y'all can see I ain't making nothing up. This Sparkle, this her, and this what we about to listen to. Look,
watching in this room on Madame Noir.
this is Madame Noir. Okay, now this is the whole thing. That was just clips, the one that we were just watching. Okay, so let's get into it. Fair use. First question: what are some things you wish that were kept in the documentary?
Well, we'll say this first. The documentary was good, and it gave a lot of information I didn't even know. But a few things that I particularly wanted to expound upon was the fact that I didn't leave my niece in the studio by herself.
So she's saying, I didn't leave my niece because it was rumor was going around that she left her niece inside of that studio by herself. Okay, that was going around. They said you left your niece there. Okay, and then it was that she left her niece there in the studio by herself. Okay, but she wasn't by herself. There were other people there, and she knew who was there. All right, now let's keep going. Absolutely, let's keep going.
Number one, I saw her that evening walking into the studio to record for my album. And seeing her, I was just like, wait, what you doing here? Who's with you? Because I didn't see anybody. And she was like, oh, I was dropped off. And I was like, huh? Immediately got on the phone with my sister. What y'all doing? Why is she down here by herself? And then maybe.
Now listen, the niece was coming down there to help her record her album. Okay, so this is Sparkle's album that her niece was coming down there to help her record. Okay, so that's why she was there. Okay, so why are you asking her why is she here if she is on your album? Wouldn't that be the reason she was here? Because she wasn't doing any music besides working with Sparkle, because she was working with Sparkle. She was on Sparkle's album. So she was working with her. Okay? So keep listening. Keep listening. Fair use.
30 minutes to an hour later, my brother-in-law was walking in the door. So I never, ever left my niece alone. Anywhere, for that matter.
So she said she walked in the studio. Her niece is already there. She looked around. What you doing here? What you doing here? What you doing here? Who you here with? And her niece said, I was dropped off. Now, her niece didn't state who dropped her off, but she said that she was dropped off. So she said that she called her sister, okay? And she asked her sister, what y'all doing? Why is she here by herself? Like, blah, blah, blah. So then the dad, her father, Rassandra's father, came within 30 minutes. Like 30 minutes later, he was there. So that's why she felt like, okay, it was fine to leave her here because her father's here. So that's why she said, I can exit because now her dad's here. She never stated who dropped her off. My assumption was her dad. Her dad dropped her off. And I feel like he only came down there because Sparkle was kind of at that moment, kind of making it a problem. And whatnot, like, okay, well, why is she down here by herself? And I don't feel like Sparkle was making it a problem because her niece was there around any men, because she wasn't worried about anything like that. She was just mad that her niece was down there at all. Like, why is she here? Not like, why is she here with Robert? That's not what she said. Sparkle didn't say that. She didn't say nothing about the niece and Robert being nowhere near each other. She just came to the studio. When she was there, her niece was there by herself. That's all she was saying. So how she was looking at it, like, it ain't gonna be on me that she here. Like, I'm here to do my album. Why is she here? Like, more so on some narcissistic stuff. Not like, why is my 14-year-old niece here? That's not how she was looking at it. It's not. Because she never stated anything like that. She's here with men. There's grown men walking around her. There's this, there's that. She didn't say none of that. She never stated any of those things. She just simply stated that she was alone. And she basically was like, I ain't babysitting. That's what it's given. I ain't babysitting. She'll need to be down here. I'm down here making my album. One of y'all needs to come get her something. I'll be down here with her, something like that. So that's why when her brother-in-law, Rashana's father, walked in, she felt like it wasn't a problem to walk away. Like, okay, yeah, your daddy here now, which anybody would do that. Like, that's your father. You know, so I mean, you with your daddy now. I mean, okay, bye. You know, so and then she would have went on her merry way. Because like she said, 30 minutes later, he was there. So that means you stayed with the niece for those, because how you know it was 30 minutes? So that means you sat there and waited. But it wasn't out of worry that you thought that she was around some grown men. Like you said, you were oblivious to Aaliyah, you know, all of that stuff. So why would you think anything about your niece? You just didn't want her to, you know, Robert to basically be like, why this little girl here, you know, or who you ain't wanted to fall on you. So that's why you like, come get her. Because I don't want her walking around. I'm Sparkle niece, knowing that she ain't supposed to be down here like that. So why is she here? That is what that was. Now let's keep listening. Now, I'm not telling no lies. I'm not putting any words into her mouth. That is the truth. She never stated that she was worried about her, nothing. And let's listen to it again.
Just like, wait, what you doing here? Walking into the studio to record for my album. And seeing her, I was just like, wait, what you doing here? Who's with you?
Who she say about what she say about a man? What she say about Robert Kelly? Who's with you? So she's obviously you by yourself. If I don't, she had to have been alone, right? Now she walked in the studio. I walk in the studio and she's standing here with 5-6 dudes around her, and I'm like, who you here with? You know, type of. That's not what happened. She simply said she walked in the studio and she saw her niece alone. That's why she was wondering who you with. Who with you? If her father was there, she wouldn't have that wouldn't have been a question, because there go your daddy, so you're fine. If her mother was there, there go your mama, you fine. If R. Kelly was there, she would have been saying, why are you down here with R. Kelly? Like, why? That's not what she's saying. She said she was alone. Okay, keep listening.
Because I didn't see anybody. And she was like, oh, I was dropped off. And I was like, huh? Immediately got on the phone with my sister.
She never stated who dropped her off. She never states who dropped her off. She never said it. She just said that she was dropped off.
What y'all doing? Why is she down here by herself? And then maybe 30 minutes to an hour later, my brother-in-law was walking in the door.
Instead of her sister, because she didn't call her brother-in-law, she called her sister. She called her sister. Okay? She asked why she's here. What's she doing here? What's she doing down here? Who's she with? She doesn't sound worried. None of those things. She just didn't want to be responsible for her within that moment. And I don't necessarily blame her. But still, at the same time, let's not make it seem like, oh, I was so concerned. I would have never left her there alone. Okay, girl.
So I never, ever left my niece alone. Anywhere.
You see, she throws that alone on there. I never left her alone. I never left my niece, because you did leave her. You absolutely did.
Another piece that I think was left out actually, is that I just introduced my niece to Robert, which was not true. Yes, I did introduce her, but I introduced a bevy of family to him. I introduced her correctly.
Where is the lie? Where is the lie? It was never specified that you introduced R. Kelly and her alone. They said you introduced her to R. Kelly. Like, because you did. Like, listen.
which was not true. Another piece that I think was left out actually, is that I just introduced my niece to Robert, which was not true. Yes, I did introduce her, but I introduced a bevy of family to him.
So then where was the lie? You did what you personally introduced her to Robert. Rather, you did it in front of family. It doesn't, that the event was not in question. The people were. It was stated you introduced her to him. And you did. Where was the lie? You even stated yourself. That's a lie. But no, there is no but. It's either true or false. It's a lie, but it ain't a lie. I didn't do it in like at a room alone. I'd have just walked her in. No, nobody stated that. They just stated that you introduced her. That was it. That was it. Like, girl, you're already lying. Like, you tried it.
I introduced her correctly. Her parents brought her down to the studio, and that's where the introduction happened. It wasn't her by herself. It wasn't me picking her up, and her parents came, and that's how the introduction happened. Like I said, I introduced most of my family to Robert because we're a musical family. You know what I'm saying? And he had just gotten the green light on a new situation at Interscope Records.
So now she's talking about the green light situation, Interscope Records. This is when it's coming up to where R. Kelly's going to give her own album, that type of situation, right? Now, no, I want y'all to notice that when she talks about this first incident, because we're going to get into it, I want you to notice when she talks about the first incident about her niece being in the studio by herself, notice how she did not call child protection. She didn't get DHS she didn't do none of that stuff, but keep on listening. Keep on listening. Remember, she saw her niece in the studio alone and she found it weird. She did not like the feelings she got, allegedly. That's why she called her parents immediately. But she didn't call on CPS, DHS, none of that. But keep listening.
Where he was taking me and where my debut album actually came from. And I wanted him to possibly put my family on. You know what I mean? Bless them. Like
put my family on. Once again, you introduced your family to R. Kelly, your niece included. Her parents would have never brought her down to the studio if you would not have introduced. And Sparkle, you keep trying to make it seem like R. Kelly just did all of this because you were cute. R. Kelly was doing all this because he was with you when you were with somebody else. He was doing all that because you were his woman, basically, one of his women. So that's why he was meeting people, your family, all of that. What other reason would he have had an interest? You even admit yourself how attracted to you he was. So he was doing all of this stuff because you were seeing him. You were sleeping with him. You absolutely were. That's why you felt entitled to certain things. Walking in the studio, what is she doing here? All of this. Like, girl, karma got you back quickly. It absolutely did, because you allowed certain things to go on. You turned a blind eye because you were too worried about your album and your music. Like I said, when your niece was there alone in that studio, you drew no alarm because it was all about you. You were coming there to record your album. You were low-key jealous of her. Why is she here? She shouldn't even be here. Her family ain't here, none of that. You knew your niece was a recording artist. That's why you introduced her. She was a rapper in a group. And they had did well overseas. Your whole family is musical. Like you literally stated here. So you knew everybody was about to try to eat off of R. Kelly. Some people were just going to do more drastic things than you were. If not for you, that would have never happened to your niece. You put her in that situation. You did. You absolutely did. You took a bunch of desperate, hungry people and you put them in a room with a wolf. That is what you did. You absolutely did. You knew how hungry those people were. The struggling musicians. You were a struggling musician yourself. Girl, bye.
He was blessing me. Bring them into stardom as he was about to do with me. You know what I mean? So, and I didn't want to be selfish with my gift. I wanted to spread the love, like I stated, because we are a musical family. And, maybe he could position them in some spots that were unfilled yet. Because having a new situation, you're going to need some bodies, right? You're going to need some, extra hands or some extra artists. So, you know, my niece was a dope rapper at the time.
My niece was a dope rapper. She's talking about Rashonda.
My other nieces and nephews that I introduced him to also, they had great success overseas. And so maybe he can bring them on, you know, as artists.
Maybe he can bring them on as artists. So you already knew. So you're saying her being in the studio, isn't she an artist? Isn't that why you brought her down? Isn't that why you want her to come down in the first place? Girl.
Brother-in-law who I introduced him to, which is my niece on the tapes father. He plays guitar, dope guitarist. I begged Robert to give him, you know, a try. He did, and he's on many of his CDs now. So yeah, that's another thing that I wanted to clear up. And also about the Andrea situation, Robert's ex-wife, the situation where I speak about, I hear somebody knocking. And, you know, he does a, come on, you know, she peeps out and says, can I come get something to eat? She's coming down the stairs and I am staring at Robert like, how dare you? How dare you? You are a piece of work. And he saw the he felt me because he kept looking at TV, right?
But you didn't say anything. Like, but I mean, that's the thing. So you look at him with a stare. You're doing it because you was his woman. You were his woman. Like, how dare, and Sparkle, you trying to make it look like the how dare you make her knock on the door? How dare you have her in front of me? Sparkle, stop trying to make it seem like you weren't over there super controlling, super manipulative, acting, this is my house, my mansion, my money. It was the how dare you have her come out here in my presence while I'm here. Why even have her come out? Like, why even do that? Like, girls, I'm trying to make it seem like you weren't over there running the ship. Yes, you were at that time because R. Kelly, he really did want you. He really did. So, and you knew all that you were doing. You sitting there trying to make it seem like you had respect for Andrea when you were sleeping with her husband. That's why I'm like, girl, you're fake. I'm just like, girl, like, you be real. Like, girl, you sit here sleeping with her whole husband, but you got so much respect for her. Shut up, Sparkle.
Right. But when he felt it, he looked over at me and he just started. And I was like, forgive my language, nigga, that shit ain't funny. And I said those words to him. And I said, how dare you? So I wanted to clear that up. So.
Next question. Were you suspicious of R. Kelly before knowing his interactions with your niece? So speaking before the niece, did you have any suspicions? Because she has been around R. Kelly since 1992. The tape happened, I believe, in like 96 or 97 or something like that. I know, something like that.
Let's go there. 89, I met Robert. A girlfriend of mine took me down to the studio and she wanted me to sing for him. I didn't sing that particular time.
Hi, Danny Robertson.
So
y'all subscribe to my girl, Danny.
To 92, had no really interaction with Robert at all. I would see him out in clubs here and there, whatever, but no interaction. 92, I started dating one of the guys in Public Announcement, which led me back to Robert.
The same one who exposed her for sleeping with Robert. Girl, bye.
And he got to hear me sing at that particular time and wanted me to come down to the studio to sing some backgrounds for a new artist that he was working with. Unbeknownst to me, it was Aaliyah. Got to work and do most of the backgrounds on her album, except for AJ Number. You know, and at that point, I was working a 9-to-5 job, okay? I was leaving that job, coming to the studio to do another job. And there was very little, me and Aaliyah interacted, you know, a little bit, but I was there to do a job. So there wasn't much interaction. She was around the studio. There were 3 other girls who Robert had brought on prior to me, brought on, and they were called, they were the group called Second Chapter.
And she's telling the truth about all of this. Second Chapter was a group of young girls that were background vocalists for Aaliyah, and there were also background dancers that were also background vocalists as well back then. So one of the singers was an incredible singer. She's one of the first people to actually bring a lawsuit against R. Kelly for underage. She's the one who basically made it a domino effect like after that, but she was the girl from that group. So yes.
I don't know if you listen to Aaliyah's first album and you hear reference of the group Second Chapter. Those are the girls who were backing Aaliyah up, kind of like a R. Kelly in public announcement, if you will. So yeah, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary in that time. This was 92 when I came back around and I started singing the backgrounds for her debut album. Now, mind you, her uncle, Barry Hankerson, is there. He's Robert's manager. Her parents are there.
True.
I wasn't thinking of, or even think to look for anything.
But that doesn't mean that there were not rumors. There were plenty of rumors going around about Aaliyah and R. Kelly. But of course, Sparkle, I'm oblivious. Why would I ever think that with her mom and dad? They're just like your niece. Her mom and dad were present. Her mom and dad were present. Her mom and dad were present. Like, that makes no sense. Like, you mean like with your niece? Her mom and dad were there. You come to a point? If anything, that should be making ding, ding, ding. Like, you know, bulbs should be going on top of your head. You know, if anything, you know, but okay, girl. All righty.
You know, at that particular time. So, you know, I was there to do the job. Like I said, I would go home, come back and do this, you know, same job over and over again until we were done with the Aaliyah project. And then I had no connection or any, you know, dealings with Robert until 1996. So I wasn't there a steady period of time to see anything. You know what I mean? And in 96, when I was called upon to do more background, I, you know, was singing in the studio, doing the background, what have you. And 2 songs in, he came into the booth with me and he was like, look, we're not just going to be working on anybody's CD this time. This is yours. And I'm like, yo, whoa.
So once again, back to her. So this is when her niece comes back into the scene because her niece did backgrounds for her. Her niece helped work on her album with her. Keep listening.
All right, let's go. You know, of course, I was elated by it because I'm like, yo, I'm about to work on my own stuff now. This is about to be great. So that happened, 96, going to 97 is, I want to say 97 is the year I introduced my niece to him. Early 97, I do believe. And then there was a hiccup.
Now, did you not hear that she just said that she introduced her niece to R. Kelly? But at the beginning of this video, she tries to make it a point to say that she did not introduce her niece to R. Kelly. Now, I think about around 97 is when I introduced my niece to R. Kelly. Didn't you just say you didn't do that? Shouldn't you have said, and around 97 was when R. Kelly came to a family function and he met my niece and whatnot at the function where I introduced her correctly? Like, Sparkle, girl, you're a liar. But let's keep going.
And the hiccup was
Let's get in this hiccup.
I had a boyfriend. Robert didn't want me to have a boyfriend.
Why would Robert not want you to have a boyfriend if there were no dealings with you? Why would he want that if he wasn't seeing you himself? What pleasure does he get out of you not seeing anyone? I'm confused by that. Because she listened. And R. Kelly wanted her. And we all know that he got what he wanted. You doing your album and whatnot. He was allegedly sleeping with Aaliyah while she was doing her album too. Same thing with you. Why would he not be sleeping with you? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Just say, like your ex from public announcements stated, you were with R. Kelly. It's like everybody know this story but you. To make yourself look innocent because you already knew what you did was bogus. What you did was wrong. You shouldn't have did those things. But it's like, own it and move on instead of lying to protect yourself. But let's keep going.
Now, mind you, Robert liked me, of course.
So you're admitting,
not-
admitting that Robert liked you. You're admitting it. Okay.
Of course, but Robert liked me. And I wasn't giving into his advances toward me. You know, he was a handsome guy, but I wouldn't go there. You know what I mean? And it was just something about him too. But anywho, there was a situation where Robert X told me that he was taking only me to Interscope Records and not the other acts that he had kind of brought in. And they would be staying on Jive Records.
So you want me to think that you had no influence with R. Kelly leaving a label and only taking you with? So we supposed to just believe that out of all of those artists that R. Kelly was working with, public announcement included, he only took you. But you weren't sleeping together. Girl, your biggest hits included him. Be careful, all of those songs feature R. Kelly. Like, that's what made them hit songs. It wasn't you. When a woman's fed up, you've been in those videos, all of that, you're his leading lady deliberately. Because y'all were together. Like, tell the truth and shame the devil. He just did all of this stuff for you. Just because you. The lies. Like, girl, stop lying. Like, that it's gross. Like, it's really gross how much you're sitting here lying. He did all of this stuff for you, but there was nothing going on. The lies.
So now I told someone about this, and that person went back and told Robert that I told. Then the fact that
you told somebody about it because you decided it. You didn't want anybody else to go besides you and Robert because y'all were together. King and queen. We need to go over there. You don't need to be worried about none of these other artists. No different than when your niece was inside of the studio. What you doing here? You feel like you were running things back then. There are photos of you on Robert's bed with other women, you know, and stuff like that. Girl, cut it out, Sparkle. You were down with the get down, cut it out. And you were an adult, a legal, consenting adult. You was grown when all of this stuff happened. So, girl, cut it out. Like, cut it with the lies.
I had a boyfriend. He didn't want me to have a boyfriend.
Because he was
with you.
Because y'all were together.
His, I guess, insecurity. And he decided to take my deal away from me. And
so she's saying because she had a boyfriend, he decided to take her deal away from her. No, y'all broke up and he took your deal from you. Because you could date whoever you wanted whenever you wanted to then, right, if y'all weren't together. So why would he wait for you to get a boyfriend for when he said from jump that you couldn't have one? Because y'all were together. That doesn't make any sense. Y'all breaking up and him taking your deal does make sense. It absolutely does. And when he took her deal, this was after she found her niece at the studio by herself. Since people saying, oh, she called child protection and all of that. At this point, no, she did not. And she had already saw her niece because her album was made after 97. Like she said, it was around the time where she introduced her niece to R. Kelly. Okay? So that means that her coming to the studio and seeing her niece there by herself, all of that had already happened at this point to where she's talking about right now. Okay? Now keep on listening. Keep on listening. Keep on listening.
This went on for some months. We didn't speak. He didn't call. I didn't call him. And then a meeting was to take place.
So now she says months went by after she got kicked off of the label, after R. Kelly took her deal from her. Months had went by before they had spoke a breakup. So then the next time they talk, there is a meeting. Okay. Now listen to this meeting. Now she had already separated from R. Kelly. She had already seen that her niece was at the studio and stuff by herself with no supervision, parental guidance, nothing. All of this stuff had already happened. Now listen, keep on listening because it's about to get good.
someone called a meeting to get us back into good graces. And I'm certain it was probably something to do with Interscope Records, because they had spent out a pretty penny on me. I had done the Be Careful video already. The promotions and stuff had kind of started. So they would be losing money if he were to do this. So a meeting was called, and we met at a hotel near the O'Hare Airport in Chicago. Barry Henderson, which was his manager at the time, Robert, me, and I wanted my parents to come with me. Then my sister with the girl in tape and my brother-in-law also came, because now they're like this. They thick as thieves, right?
So she's saying that her brother-in-law and her sister and whatnot, they all basically came on R. Kelly's side because they all thicker than thieves. They're all super close, is what she's saying. So why would we not think that the parents knew? Especially if the father, now I would say if anybody may have been slightly oblivious to what was going on, I would say it's Rashonda's mother. I would say it's Sparkle's sister, because she did not spend much time at that studio. And a lot of that time that was being spent there was by Rashonda's father. So Rashonda was with her father at the studio the majority of the time. So if there was anything going on, her father definitely knew. There's no excuse, especially taking that money that R. Kelly allegedly paid him. You knew. So that means that you knew certain things were going on. And then when it comes to the mother, her not being a part of any of the financial exchanges, maybe she was in the dark. Maybe she didn't know. There's a strong possibility that she didn't know, especially with her father being with her. Why would you not think that your husband will protect your daughter at all costs? My husband would never let something like that go down. And it's not like the tape was the only time R. Kelly allegedly slept with her. It was for years, like he was sleeping with her for a while, like for a long time, that he was, sleeping with her. So it wasn't their first time around the park. So when people see in the video when R. Kelly handed her some money, it's because this is something that occurs often. This is not like the first time this happened, type of situation. So he could just been given a couple dollars for that day, $40, just for that day, and whatnot. She was constantly there. So it's just like she basically lived there, type of situation. She was there so often. So only she knows how long it happened, but it was not the first time. That was definitely something that, because it was like a routine. Like if you pay attention, like to her body language and things like that, which is crazy. But you could tell it was not the first time. And with the other girls too, throughout the video, it was not the first time. Like you could definitely tell. So I just feel like, because that's crazy, it's heavy. She definitely left this young lady to the wolves, and the parent, I'm not going to say the mother. Now, I don't think she knew right away, but I do think she knew later on. So I'm not going to say like right in the thick of it, when it was all going on, maybe she had a lot of doubts or, things like this, or just thinking like my husband would never let anything like that happen to our daughter. So she just believed him because once again, he lied allegedly for him, for Robert. And so did the young lady, Rashonda. She did as well. So with that happening, they're lying because they know. The mother did not lie because she wasn't a part of it. It's how I feel. And I also think that that's why allegedly R. Kelly and his team sent the Landfair family out of town, not even out of town, out of the country while the trial was going on. Because the mother especially, because she doesn't know, and she hadn't seen the tape, So as far as her understanding, she's never seen it. So that's damn, she can't identify something she ain't never seen, So I don't know. I just think that it's a lot that Sparkle is not saying, is what I'm saying. She's a lot more involved than she's willing to admit.
Right now, without me, I'm not in the picture. You know what I mean? They stayed. And a couple other family members also were there. Barry Hankerson and Robert, me, and my parents. The meeting got along. Barry Hankerson was doing a lot of the talking. Robert did speak some. And what he said out of his mouth next, I almost sank down into the chair that I
So you mean to tell me what she's about to say? You can't convince me that if he felt comfortable enough to say this in front of your parents, that he was not sleeping with you.
was sitting in. He stated to my parents, you know, your daughter's so fine, I jerk off just looking at her. To my mom and my dad.
Now he said to her mom and her dad, listen, that's what I said. Everything was about her. She tries to make it look like, no, girl, you're evil from what I'm getting. You're just as evil and vindictive as cutthroat. She says that he says this to her about her in front of her mother and her father, right? Now, this is a meeting to get them back in good graces with each other. He says this, listen to what she does after. After he said this to her parents, listen to what she did after. Listen.
Do you know how I felt at that moment? My mom and my dad, you know what I mean? So that happened. We left the meeting. I was appalled. My dad spoke some words to me, which I won't repeat, but I should have listened to him. Just let me say that. Then we kind of didn't really gel that well, but I came back on.
So he tell your parents in front of you that he off to you. Your daddy tell you over his dead body, basically, do he want you to work with this man? And you go right back to him? What sense does that make, Sparkle? You're painting Robert to be such this horrible person, yet you keep going back to him. Why? He done sat here and said all this in front of your parents and all this stuff during the meeting to where you decide if you're going to deal with him or not. That gives me even more reason to not deal with him. Why would you say something like that? Like, how gross and disrespectful for you to say something like that in front of my parents. And you know what? I know that he said that to me, but I'm going back. Once again, everything was about you. You didn't care about Rashonda. You clearly didn't. You left because you weren't getting your way, because you and R. Kelly broke up. And it was other girls that he was treating more important than you, and you didn't like it. There was a new sparkle in town, and that sparkle was Rashonda, your own damn niece.
Then 99 happened, and I was starting to work on my second album. I asked to be released from him in 99 because it wasn't a happy place for me anymore, and because he was trying to insert himself in my personal life.
So why would you wait till the second album if he had been inserting himself in your personal life your whole career? Your first album, he told you couldn't have a boyfriend. Your second album, before you drop, he's telling your parents that he irks to you. He been in your personal life. He go to family functions of yours, all of that. Even with you not being together. Whole time he at these family functions, he's standing there hanging out with Rashonda. No big deal. No red flags. Okay, girl. Alrighty then.
And I wasn't cool with that. So I asked to be released. He finally granted me the release. And then I went on to Motown. So I had nothing to do with him from that point on. Later on, mid 2001, I get a phone call, from two separate people in Robert's camp. And they stated to me, yo, you need to see what's up. Your niece is down here by herself. Something don't look right, something not right. You need to check this out.
So, her not dealing with Robert anymore. She's done with Robert after the breakup, right? Somebody calls her. Now, this is when she's doing her second album, but she wasn't doing it with Robert. So somebody call her and they say, yo, you need to get down here. Your niece is here by herself and things don't look right. Ain't nobody down here with her. Okay? Did this not happen before? But that's when she was dealing with R. Kelly. This time when she gets the phone call from R. Kelly's camp, she's not dealing with R. Kelly anymore at this point. She's not dealing with him. She's already came to the studio and bumped into her niece being there without any parental guidance or anything, nobody being down there. Okay? All right? Now, like I said before, keep listening. Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I called my sister and I screamed at her like, "What you on? You know, what's going on? What are you doing? I'm hearing rumblings that my niece is down there by herself. What's up?" So she was like, "Oh no, everything is cool. You know, nothing is going on. You know, just oblivious, naive, or whatever she is at this point." And so what I did next was I myself, along with two of my girlfriends, called the Department of Children and Family Services.
Why didn't she do that the first time? Sparkle, you could have did that the first time. So if that would have been reported, that would have been your second report. Like, this is the second time I've been notified about my niece, my minor niece, being in this place alone without any guidance. You did not call CPS. The reason you did not call Child Welfare Services, girl, is because you were still dealing with R. Kelly. It was always all about you. Because why are you calling CPS now? Why are you calling DHS now? Because you ain't no longer dealing with him. Now there's nothing for you to lose. So that means that you knew already. Did nobody call you and tell you, hey, yo, your niece down here with R. Kelly? I just came in the bathroom and your niece was getting off her knees or some ish and R. Kelly, nobody called you and told you that. So for you to feel the need to call Child Protective Services, you were calling because you felt like something was going on and you were specific when you called DHS. You had specific reasoning into why you were calling them. Why did you not do that the first time? Because it's the same reasoning. Nothing changed besides the fact that you are no longer dealing with R. Kelly. So it seems spiteful. Now I'm going to get you in trouble. Now, since I ain't over there on your label no more, but she's still over there, you still got her over there. You're jealous of her. Instead of wanting to help that girl, you could have been helped her. You chose not to. You ain't just start feeling that day because they didn't call you and tell you nothing that you ain't already see with your own eyes. So hold on, because you could have called CPS the first day. What they call you and tell you, girl?
Something don't look right. Something came in 99 because it wasn't a happy place for me anymore. And because he was trying to insert himself in my personal life. And I wasn't cool with that. So I asked to be released. He finally granted me the release. And then I went on to Motown. So I had nothing to do with him from that point on. Later on, mid 2001, I get a phone call, two actually, from two separate people in Robert's camp. And they stated to me, yo, you need to see what's up. Your niece is down here by herself. Something don't look right, something not right.
That's all they told her. That's all they told her. The same thing she felt when she walked into the studio that day and saw her niece there by herself. So why don't you call Child Protective Services that day? Why don't you wait until you got the boot from R. Kelly label and whatnot? It seems spiteful, if you ask me. It doesn't seem like you genuinely care about this girl. It seems as if you are jealous of her. You're going to show her and you're going to show Robert. That's what it's given. That's what it's given. and the family isolating her, her sister and her brother-in-law. The brother-in-law made the sister isolate Sparkle because the brother-in-law knew what was going on. So Rashana's father knew what was happening to her. He basically sold her, if you will. He knew what was going on, but his payment was living the life. He was working with one of the biggest stars in the world. He's playing instruments for this person. To him, he felt like what he was getting out of the situation with R. Kelly was bigger than what was happening to his daughter. He didn't care about that. I mean, it is what it is. That I just feel like that's how he looked at it. It was an extremely lucrative situation for him. He got to play instruments all over the world and, be somebody and feel like somebody and whatnot. He was not about to let Sparkle take that away from him. He was not. Even doing all of this with his own daughter, putting his own daughter on a serving plate. So he knew what was going on, but he didn't mind cause and effect. He don't see what's going on. He don't necessarily know, and whatnot. I feel like that tape brought him into reality, to let him know, like, this is, this was going on with your baby, like you letting all this go on with your daughter, and whatnot. So that's just how I feel. I feel like he didn't care. He felt like the fame, the working with R. Kelly and whatnot was more important. I feel like they kind of pushed the daughter, onto him. I don't feel like, honestly, I feel like they pushed her onto him. I mean, well, more so the father, but that's how I get it. Just like, here you go, take her, do what you want with her. Just make sure I'm getting credits, make sure I'm playing the bass and whatnot in the background. And as long as I'm on stage with you performing and all of that stuff, hey, do what you want. Do what you want with her body. It's a type of situation. It's like, so he was oblivious. It's something that's known but not mentioned, like an elephant in the room. I feel like he knew what was going on, but they never like approached it. It was never like a conversation. But with her, she knew what was going on. She did, and I feel like Sparkle tried to use it as leverage, and it backfired.
You need to check this out. So what I did was I called my sister and I screamed at her like, "What you on? What's going on? What are you doing? I'm hearing rumblings that my niece is down there by herself."
Now, remember, when her niece was down there before by herself, she did call her sister, but she ain't cuss her sister out. She ain't cuss her out. She just called her. Okay, sounds like you ain't called CPS after the first time you called your sister. Why are you calling them now?
What's up? So she was like, "Oh no, everything is cool. Nothing is going on. Just oblivious, naive, or whatever she is at this point." And so what I did next was I myself, along with two of my girlfriends, called the Department of Children and Family Services. Now, this is before the tape even surfaced or me even knowing anything about a tape. I called them because I wanted them to check some stuff out.
So if you wanted them to check some stuff off, like I said, she was very specific when she wanted them to check stuff out. So Sparkle, if you're calling CPS because your niece is down there alone and you want them to go check certain things out, didn't that mean, like you said, she just said out of her own mouth, the tape was not out yet? So how are you calling Child Protective Services with claims of something that's not even out? Those were your claims. Not that because she was still 14, 14, 15, something like that, years old, 14, 15, or 16 years old at the time. So that means that she can be in places alone. A studio was in a bar. So it's not like she's in an illegal establishment, and whatnot, blah, 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 and her parents are nowhere to be found. No, it's a studio. Anybody at any age can go inside of a studio. Okay? So if you're calling them, letting them know that you think certain things are happening to her or that certain people are doing things to her, then that means you knew. It was before the tape. So if you calling CPS on a 14 to 15-year-old, what you calling them on them for? When you saw your niece at the studio alone, you didn't say anything about her drinking, anything about her doing drugs. You didn't say anything about any of those things. You just said that she was simply alone, is what you said. Sparkle, you said those things because you know what go down in those studios. You know what happened. You know what goes on because you've been a part of it. So if she's here, then that means that she is a part of it, is what you felt. So that's why you called CPS. So that means you knew. You knew. It was before the tape. It wasn't after. You didn't call CPS after the tape. You called before. You said it out your own mouth. So you knew that there were inappropriate things going on with your niece. That's what I'm saying. You're so fake. I'm like, you knew. You had to have. Because what you calling CPS for? What? Was she malnourished? What? What were you calling CPS for? On a teenager. You're not calling CPS because it's a 6-year-old down at the studio. And the studio is not an illegal place to be. She's allowed to be there. So if you feel like something else is going on with your niece, then that means you knew. And how did you know? Because the tapes came out. So everything you feared or knew or thought that was going on, it clearly was. But we're supposed to just overlook that? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not overlooking it. It sounds like you were jealous of her. Honestly, like how pathetic and disgusting for you to be jealous of someone that you should have been protecting. Because you could have been called CPS. Because you already knew what was up. You chose not to because it didn't affect your bag. You were making an album. You were doing this. You were doing that. She's singing background for me. Andrea Kelly come knocking on the door and all of that. How dare you bring her in front of me? Why is she even coming down? She should wait till I leave like she normally do. You were walking around there, stomping around like you were running the place. You were his queen bee at the time. Yes, you were. Then you lost control. And you lost control to your own niece. And instead of protecting her, you were jealous. You envied her. Instead of getting the girl help and assistance so that she ain't got to worry about going through the things that she's going through. But you didn't know nothing. You knew everything.
And they did. They came out to my parents' house. They spoke to my sister-in-law. My sister and my brother-in-law and my niece. And my brother-in-law stated to them, oh, nothing is going on. No, no, no. Because if anything was going on, I would deal with him.
And I feel like that's the same thing he told his wife. I feel like that's the same thing he told his wife, because it's not like her mom was, Rashonda's mother was like involved. No, she was not. It was more so of her father. And he played an instrument for R. Kelly. So if he going down to the studio, why don't she just go with him? Like, what? The daughter. Like, so yeah. So if he's going home comforting his wife and his wife having a comforting on, my daughter's out, but she's with her father. Why wouldn't she feel that she's not being protected? Why is it far-fetched that the mother didn't know? It's not far-fetched. It really isn't. It's a high probability. A high probability that she didn't know, especially if she wasn't involved in any of the financial transactions.
Okay. So, of course, they felt that I'm the culprit. I did that deed. I called that number and had them investigated, So now they've taken a back seat and I'm not included on anything at this point.
So she's saying her family cut her off because she called CPS on her sister and brother-in-law. And it was not the family. It was more just what the whole family loved R. Kelly, right? So with the family loving R. Kelly, what Sparkle keeps leaving out and not taking accountability for is that she is the reason the family knows R. Kelly in the first place. She brought him to family gatherings and to meet the people, and she did all of that. So after she said what she said, the father especially had her isolated. Why would he not have her isolated? R. Kelly's doing a lot for their family. Putting a lot of money in all of their pockets for the people playing musicians, the bands that had these feeding everybody. R. Kelly was going to a lot of these events and stuff that they was having, paying for him, giving the family money. He was literally around these people. So it wasn't just he said hi, they saw him one time, that was it. No, it was often. It was often that he saw them. R. Kelly spent a lot of time with the Landfair family. He spent a lot of time with them. So it was easy to say, Sparkle's side, it was easy for R. Kelly to turn them against Sparkle. You're one person. This one person feeding all of us, doing stuff for all of us. And now you want to come in here with this trash, all because he ain't signing you no more and all of this and dot this and dot that. So yeah, it can cause a lot of turmoil, against the family. But it's not the fact of her calling CPS. That I really don't feel like that was the issue. There was already issue there because they were still working with him and she wasn't. So Rashana was still around him. Rashana's father was still around him and she wasn't. So that was the real issue, is that y'all are still working with the person that I'm no longer working with, but I put y'all on. Like, it's the ego for me when it comes to Sparkle. But she gonna say to herself, like, R. Kelly was around a lot. Like, he was around often, multiple family functions. Keep listening.
If I enter the room, it's crickets. You know what I mean? Late 2001, probably September-ish, my family had a bowling party, and I ended up going to it. And guess who's there? Robert.
So your family have a bowling party, and Robert is more invited than you are to your own family party? You call child protection on Robert, because that's who you call child protection on. Robert. You definitely put his name inside of the statement, girl, Sparkle girl. You tried it. So you call child protection on Robert, but you would sit there and entertain a conversation with him at your family's event? Girl, I would have knocked every table over at that bowling party. Why is he here? Are you kidding me? I would have tore that bowling party up. Or it would have been over when I got there. Why is he here? Like, are y'all kidding? Like, are you serious? And then did none of y'all tell me he was going to be here? Like, for real? Like, that would have been an issue for me if I would have pulled up to that bowling party and he was there. For what? Why is he here? And why would Sparkle even entertain him in conversation? Listen.
And I'm like uneasy and I want to snap off, but it's too many people there. And if I were to do anything, it would be crazy up in there. So we did have a few words and he was like, yo, we still family, yeah, here go my number. Won't you call me? You come down to the studio. It's still what it is. I ain't call him. I ain't go to no studio. I ended up leaving very quickly.
Shout out to Madam Nayor. Why even entertain him in conversation? All of these allegations, that was in 2001. The tape was already out there in 2001. It was already floating around. So why even entertain him in talking at all? That doesn't even make sense. Why would you even be interested in speaking to somebody you make these allegations against? I just find that weird. I just find it weird. If you're going to leave, you should have left as soon as you saw him. Why even entertain him in conversation if you feel how you feel about this man? Like, you make no sense. So for the people that try to make it seem like, oh, well, she did everything in her darndest to make sure that girl was all right. No, she did not. No, she didn't. And you heard it from her own mouth. Now, if you're going to argue with somebody, argue with her. You're about to argue with me about what she said. She did call child protection and all that stuff. And so after R. Kelly took her deal from her, then she called child protection. She could have been called child protection. That's something I would have respected. But I'm not about to respect. He dropped. All of this seems spiteful now. Because you could have did all of this already because you already knew all of this stuff. You didn't call and say a 6-year-old was left at the studio. No. That's not what happened. It was a teenage girl there. So if you're calling CPS and whatnot, you have to be very specific in what you are calling for. So you know that there were allegations that she had, because even CPS themselves went and sat down with Rashonda's family and asked them if she was doing sexual things and stuff and whatnot. Why are these questions even coming up, Sparkle, if you didn't know? And this was all before the tape. This was all before the tape that CPS came and sat down with Rashonda's family, her mother and father, and questioned them about the things that she was allegedly doing alone in a studio without them present. So that means that you already knew. You already knew these things. You got to stop making it seem like Sparkle, when people wasn't calling you, they weren't calling you to let you know that your niece was doing specific things. Like they just called you like, oh, I'm at the studio, your niece down here by herself. Like, you know, that's not it. It's what else going on? What make you feel the need to call me? Especially if it's a bunch of grown men here drinking and doing this and doing that. It's girls busting down, all of that. Shanice here, I feel like she probably doing these same things. I mean, or I just saw your niece bust down. I just saw your niece in the studio bobbing for apples. Like, let's not make it seem like it was specific things that these people weren't calling you, telling you that they saw and that was going on. You make it seem like they just called you and told you that she was alone. No, it was more than that. And that is what you said when you called CPS. CPS is not about to go respond because a girl hanging out in the studio by herself at 15, 16 years old. No. What reason would they need to go there for? Do her parents know? Yes. Okay, well, there's nothing we can do about that. But they can do something about, oh, she's down there with these grown men and they're doing ... to her. They're giving her this and aiding her in that and ... this. Oh, they can do something then. Oh, they can get involved then. So you caught them with specific things, Sparkle. Things you already knew. You didn't say anything before because it would have hurt your career. Since your career was over with R. Kelly, hey, I'm going to show both of y'all. I'm going to show her for feeling like she coming through and acting like she didn't knew me. And I'm going to show you because you should have never effed with me. What did old girl just say yesterday when we were reading the fake pregnancy story? Things that women do, very normal. Okay, well, why wouldn't a woman scorned? Sparkle. Scorned by R. Kelly. Okay? They do certain things, right? Isn't that normal? Bust his windows, call the police, make reports, get back at them, spite. That's what I was getting from it. That's what I was getting. So, yeah. I'm like, yeah, Sparkle, you clearly knew. Like, you need to stop making it seem like you didn't know you did. You could have just simply said that there were rumors before, but you didn't take them seriously because her parents were always around. You could have said something like that. But to just try to make it seem like, oh, I had no idea. Yes, you did. Like, yes, you did. You literally reported it. And you said it out of your own mouth. This was before the tape. Myself and two of my friends called Child Welfare Services. Before the tape. So you had already reported it. That's why they came out there and questioned Rashonda about things that she may have been doing with adults sexually. You were the reason. You and your two friends. Y'all were the reason. So that means that you, once again, knew. Now, like I said, don't argue with me. Argue with Sparkle. Like, it's right there in front of you. I guess I just hear things differently. I'm not creating a narrative. I'm literally going off of what she's saying. I'm not putting words into her mouth, or anything like that. She said it. She said it. So if you ask me, I feel like all of them set R. Kelly up. Like, they absolutely did. For the okie doke, he didn't have to take the bait, but he did. He definitely did. And I mean, it is what it is. But I do feel like they set him up. The whole family, except the mother. Honestly, I just don't feel like she had much involvement. If she did, it was towards the end. It wasn't while that stuff was going on. I don't feel like she knew. I don't feel like she knew. I don't. But because she wasn't at the studio with her daughter like the father was. But I definitely feel the father knew. There's no way he can convince me otherwise. You knew You absolutely knew. It's not a coincidence. Y'all were out of the country. You know, all of that during the trial and what you knew. God rest your soul, but you knew. You absolutely knew what was going on with your daughter, and you have to rest in eternity with that. So, yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. But she's supposed to be speaking, and I will definitely keep you all updated on that. Absolutely will. This is her name. Is it Rashana or Rashonda? Is it DA or NA? But yes, her and her mother. Well, not her mother. She'll be coming forward and speaking about what allegedly happened with her and her father during the first trial with R. Kelly, stating that they were paid, that she is supposed to be testifying about it. So very interested in to hear what she has to say. So as soon as I get any word of her testifying, we are coming live and talking about it, because this is a lot. But yeah, this is just to bring y'all, make sure y'all check out my girl, the Only Male Cruise podcast. She does a lot of commentary on R. Kelly. It was over 1,300 of y'all, and now it's 1,200. 1,200 y'all, and y'all go over there and subscribe to my girl, the Only Male Cruise podcast. She gets into this a lot. Soon I'm gonna have to go over there and collaborate with my girl, and we're gonna have to dig into this. But make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to her. Also, Sylvia, infamous Sylvia, she does a lot of commentary on it as well. But make sure you subscribe to my girl, the Only Male Cruise podcast. Make sure you go over there. She talks about this a lot. She gets into it a lot. But she gets a lot to the legalities of things too, with the case and the court transcripts and what's really going on, and updating you on what's going on. So make sure you go and check her out. But yeah, I just feel like I have to break that down. I had to bring it up, because when people try to make it seem like I'm just trying to bash somebody, it's like, no, I'm not trying to bash her. From what I gather, she knew, and I feel like she did a lot of things vindictively, and I got them out of her mouth. Like, this is all what she's saying. So if you can't argue with me by me literally listening to her. I'm not making things up and stuff like that. No, this is what she said. Take it or leave it. So but yeah. So I do love you guys, and I have no hate in my heart for Sparkle. I just feel like, girl, you tried it. Like, girl, you definitely tried it. So make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. If you have any information about things with Sparkle and the things that went on with Rashonda or anything with that, y'all make sure y'all DM me at Shine Everyway show at IG, and we will get into some things. But I love you all. Thank you all for joining me. Hold on, I don't even have my thing. I have to find it. I have to find it. But thank you all for joining me. And until the next show, I love you all.
Flex,